Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jess Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV, Roku, and Twitch.
It's Thought Thursday, and we're going to rewrite your story about money. So important, prosperity. We talk about it time and time again because it is a big part of our life around here. We come together each morning to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, have some inspiration, and stay dry outside of the rain, right?
Live from Seattle today. Pittsburgh, I'm not sure which.
I would never do well in Seattle.
I think it's really fitting in a day like this when it's pouring rain outside to consider the concept of rewriting your story, whether it's around money or your life story, your dream, your purpose, or breaking the stereotype, as each of our guests have done in their own ways. I'm so excited to welcome to the show our very special guest this morning. Hello, everyone in the studio. Good morning. I'm so excited to see each and every one of you hear more about your stories, but we like to know, how do you start your day? What's your morning routine like? You've got the mic, let's take it away.
Well, my morning routine always starts with Hard Night Good Morning, which is the name of my skincare line. And I have a cup of coffee, my eye cream, a little cream on my face, and then I'm ready to go for the day.
What about you?
One thing that I do, or I try to do at least every morning, is I have a journal that I always try to write out how I want my day to go and how my last day went, because I think journaling really helps, and I feel like people kind of take it for granted. But it's really helped me, and I highly recommend it. So that's one thing I do every single morning. So.
Fantastic.
One of these days I've got to take a note, pun intended, from these guests that journal and really start writing it down. What about you? What's your morning routine like? How do you start your day?
My morning routine is just a lot of meditation. I'm big on binaural beats and anything to just calm and just to stay grounded. I'm also a huge celery juice on an empty stomach fan. I love it. So yeah, just like healthy and mindfulness.
Erin, how do you feel about celery juice?
Well, I definitely am a proponent of the binary beats. Years back when I was really getting into meditation, it would take me like 30 minutes to get into meditation, and putting the binary beats on, it would get like 2 minutes.
Hemisync. Hemisync.
Yep.
I don't get into anything without coffee, so that's always just going to have to be my morning meditation. What about you? What's your morning routine? How do you start your day?
My morning routine, I guess good music in the morning to just like uplift my mood, some rap or some crazy hip hop or something. And
what song did you turn on this morning?
Cardi B. Yeah, some tea in the morning. Yeah, that's my morning routine.
Wonderful. And what about you? How do you start your day? What's your routine like?
My morning routine always starts with gratitude. I have a 5-minute journal that I always fill out, and it really just helps to set my day up to focus on the things that really bring me happiness and allow me to keep my perspective in a positive space. And I also do journaling as well, because I think it's really important as you wake up from your dream state to really just dump out anything that you may have that may have come up for you, so that you can just have a little more clarity throughout your day.
Excellent. Wow.
That's so special. Well, thank you all so much for being with us today. We're excited to talk to you more later in the show. I'm excited to incorporate a little Hard Night so I have a good morning.
Ooh.
Right?
Get there, Jez.
The only AM cleanser, and you can follow me around for me, and then you'll know what a hard night feels like. It's incredibly chic packaging. I'm really excited. Cruelty-free product, botanical. I mean, if my skin can look like Deandra Simmons,
Yeah, you're good.
I'll be a
That's all
real
you need.
housewife Los
Sign me
Angeles
up.
any day now.
That's right.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Super cool.
How are you guys doing? I don't know
Good.
what is going on with the rain, but every time it rains, I feel like I'm run over by a truck.
It takes extra effort, doesn't it?
I have no idea. It's the most bizarre thing. Like, I know we're one. I know the whole oneness thing, but we're literally like, what? Why is it making me feel like I'm like ran over by a truck?
It's a real thing. I mean, I tell you, I grew up in Pittsburgh, spent some years in Seattle, and there was a reason I moved to Miami, moved to LA. I love the sunshine. And that being said, I think the rain is always a great opportunity to like double down on the things that we already do. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you just keep going. It's like, okay, I feel like crap, let's keep going.
Yeah.
And but honestly, I understand that whole depression thing that comes with the rain. I understand that now. How people
the
could
seasonal affective disorder is real.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I like the rain because it sets the mood. I come from the Midwest, and so I grew up with the 4 seasons, most of which was raining and cloudy all of the time in Michigan. So for me, though, it's a little nostalgic. It really is like a hashtag Throwback Thursday with the rain for me. I get to change what I wear, change what I eat. just affects the whole day. Sets the tone. And it's a good excuse for me to really, reflect, practice a little more self-care. So I'm enjoying the rain. Although I will admit, so I'm a big fan of Rent the Runway, and I talk about this all the time. I did not prepare my wardrobe today for the rain. It's a thing in Los Angeles. Apparently, I'm going to have to start getting a rain.
Come into the event, and then I put in the flats when I leave the event.
Oh man, there's got a way to correct that, right?
I
know lots of designers are working on, making things comfortable and fashionable, but tends to be the case that if it's fashionable, it's not that comfortable.
Those are dinner shoes, valet only.
Yeah.
I fully support Louboutins, but I mean, they walk the red carpet and then I sit down.
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's it. Well, I was so excited because yesterday I got to go make my own bouquet bar box.
Oh wow.
Right here behind me.
How cool is that?
Gretchen Rossi hosted. She's a great she was formerly on The Real Housewives of Orange County, a great supporter of us here at the Focus Family, recently a guest. And she hosted this in conjunction with Bouquet Bar.
Super cool.
It's so cool. Right?
I just want the gummies.
You can have the gummies. So Bouquet Bar is awesome because they really practice the art of giving, especially as we're gearing up for the holiday season. I wanted to support them, so I will be giving away one. I'm not going to DIY yours. Your floral arrangement will be professional and fit in the box. Mine did not. But it was really fun to be able to come together and learn about how to make your own floral arrangement and just come in community.
Oh, super cool. I love it, Jess.
Love that.
What do you get in your...
I love the rain, though. I think it's so cozy and stuff. And we do have downtown tonight. We have the, I think it's our 6th or 7th, I don't even know, our downtown LA annual, monthly rather, self-love lesson.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. So what can people expect at the event?
Well, tonight, Sarah Pennington from Girl Talk will be speaking also, and Gala, and then I'm talking about rewriting your story. Rewriting your story about prosperity, rewriting your story. So it's so fascinating because we'll get into it a little bit, but just having the breakthrough around what does it really take to rewrite your story.
Yeah.
And it really comes down to commitment. And I think that, as coaches, sometimes we feel guilty of charging too much, or we're going it should be for everybody, or how do we do this? How do we make sure people are committed and whatever? And it is fascinating because when you take a look at top coaches, one of the reasons why they really believe in charging a lot is so people get committed.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. That often the more people spend, well, the more they're investing, not just financially, but psychologically and emotionally. And also the more satisfied they often are with the results, which is wild, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah,
well, it's really interesting, though, because a lot of people like myself who are watching right now might not have the funds or the resources to invest in a coach. Well, that is a necessary investment in itself, in growth. A lot of times before they can even do that, they need to rewrite their story around prosperity. So where would somebody even begin before they can write a check?
Ryan, a dear friend of mine, I can't pronounce his last name. It's like Mandarez, whatever. He's from Australia, and he has a great talk on it, and he talks about how he kind of gets people clear on what they desire, what they want, and then he goes, okay, so I want you to 10x that. So if you wanted 10 grand a month or something, you needed 10x it to 100 grand a month. Now, what if I had a gun to your head and I was going to kill your family, would you be able to figure it out?
It's great, yeah.
And the point is
figure it out.
we have to get clear of what our true mission is. If it's just to get comfortable in our life, it usually won't drive people enough. Whatever motivates one person is going to be different for another person. For some of us, it may be taking care of our families. For another, it's like I have a mission of, awakening 1 billion people. Whatever your mission is, you got to get really clear of what that is. That would be like somebody putting a gun to your head and saying, you got to do this. And whatever that is, for people to get really serious about their life. And if it's just because you're dreaming about someday doing a goal, it's not being committed to that. What is the real why for people? And that's like Simon Sinek's TED Talk on why. What is the real why for you?
Yeah,
but Rob, I'm really curious on what the happiness hack would be, because that can be one of the most frustrating times of a person's life.
Yeah.
If they are truly committed to rewriting the story and they do not see immediate results in their manifestation, they are going to get so frustrated and so angry and so resentful. So how do you stay happy and balanced and peaceful during that time?
It's such a good point. I think for me, the first step is just looking into your life as it exists now and noticing the ways in which you're already steeped in abundance and prosperity. That for me is like priority number one. Part of that is redefining what prosperity means. So I think it means different things to different people. For me, at the deepest level, at the truest level, prosperity is simply life itself. So the fact that I'm breathing, that I'm awake, that I'm alive, that I have water, that I have food, I mean, that's above and beyond. So for me, I think a lot of it is redefining what true prosperity is, like getting at the essence and core of it. And the whole entire point is to begin to tell a better feeling story based in truth. But I think for me, it's all about making a better feeling story and not making it conditional. So the trap for most of us is that we live very conditional lives, and our prosperity and our success and our financial well-being is conditional. So we look in the bank account and say, there's nothing there, I'm poor. Or we look into our lives and say, I have no relationship, so I must not be lovable. And that's the trap. And so real faith and real confidence and real joy is unconditional. It's got to be something that's based, that you discover within yourself, that has nothing to do, that isn't dependent or contingent at all on the experiences, conditions, circumstances that surround you.
Isn't that really interesting, though? Because I think it's so easy to unconditionally love those around you, but it's incredibly difficult. Maybe one of the hardest lessons anyone will ever learn is how to unconditionally love yourself.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I would say you're really good at that, Jez.
Oh, I'm horrible,
yeah,
thank you.
I would say that most people struggle with unconditionally loving other people. It's just, until you truly, deeply, unconditionally love yourself, most people aren't able to unconditionally love anybody else. I mean, you see it all the time. They're like disappointed, they're yelling at someone.
But I think it's an interesting point, and I think you're totally right in that I don't think anyone can really get a true mission or get truly committed when it's coming out of a lack of their own self-love. Like, you've got to do that work first.
Yeah.
But once you get there and you're like, okay, I feel complete, I'm whole, I know all this, then it's like, what game do I want to be up on this planet? You know what I mean? So, like, if the game is to impact a bunch of people, if it's to be the cause of whatever that you truly want to experience on this planet, then you got to, you know, it takes money to do, it's just, money is just an exchange of energy. So if we're exchanging energy, then, and we've decided as a culture and as a collective consciousness that money is that exchange, then let's make a ton of money.
I'm open for exchange. There's plenty of room in my bank account. Energy in exchange.
We're both open to receive.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and put that right out there in the universe. Well, we're so excited to talk to our very special guest. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more in Good Morning LALALAND.
Thank you for tuning in to the Model Mama Show. I'm your host, Tara Tner, and Shelton, we are signing off. Thanks, bye. Here's for Good Friday night. Thanks, Michelle, and I will see you again next time.
And thank you, everyone, for joining in. This has been another episode of Mind, Body, Spirit, and I'm Dr. Kate.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys live your best life. Peace out. Peace out.
And thank you for watching the LA Home Show, where we discuss all things real estate, interior design, and much, much more.
We'll see you next time. You're watching Passion to Paycheck on the Focus TV network.
Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.
So I'm your host, Serena Poon, and thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
And if you want to binge watch these videos, they will be on Focus TV network. Check that out. We will see you soon. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I greatly appreciate your service.
It was an honor to serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this episode of Purpose. I am your host, Brittany Zonker, and I will see you next time.
Moms, the best blogger parent out there.
Thank you.
Aww. Thanks, guys, for watching.
All right, thanks, guys, for watching. You're watching The Ren Wood Show on Focus TV Network. We'll see you next time.
Until next time, guys, on Focus TV Network, sipping that tea where we sip
Yes,
that tea.
and our guest spiller. Thank you, guys.
Bye. Well, thanks again, and we'll see you guys next time on Moms Matter.
Thank you for listening, and DM us, follow us on social.
You are a woman warrior.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you for letting me talk about this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's so sweet.
Thank you to the Focus TV studios for another great episode, and I'll see you guys next time.
We are Good Morning Love, the world together. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and check out these amazing, amazing people.
It's going to be a Good Morning La La Land.
Well, thank you so much for watching and for listening to Celeb CEOs with Rachel McCord. This is Erin Kerman, and we've got Jax, and tell me her name one more
Lucy.
time. Lucy in the studio making lots of fun noises. Mwah, we love you. Tune in next time. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
to Good Morning La La Land, one of our favorite Real Housewives of Dallas, Deandra Simmons. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
And congratulations on the launch of Hard Night Good Morning. We're really excited about your new product. Tell us about it.
Well, on the show this year, we always try to launch a new product. This is my second season. Last year was L22, which is an anti-aging kind of super product, has everything in it. And this year, we reformulated our nighttime moisturizer. Plus, my mother, who started the business almost 23 years ago, is a cancer survivor. And she developed one product called Green Miracle and built an entire business on that product. And for the first time ever, I reformulated it.
Oh, wow.
And that was terrifying because, not only did you have to have her approval, but everybody else. Because when we started, she was the first woman to ever make a green food product. Green Miracle was her product. And back then, people just wanted to take something and make them healthy. They didn't worry about the taste. So now I had to reformulate so where it tastes good because there's other green foods in the market. But my mom was the green food, the original Green Miracle woman.
Wow.
And she is a green miracle because she's a cancer survivor.
That is incredible.
So tell us, we're so excited to have you here. This is your products are amazing, and Good Morning La La Land is all really about positivity.
I saw that, yes.
It's about really the believers and the dreamers, and you represent that. I know that being on the show sometimes can be challenging, right? So tell us a little bit about your journey, how you've been able to stay positive through kind of the ups and downs of reality world.
Erin, sometimes it's really difficult. You have to know why you're there as a platform to help people, which I do with humanitarian work. My husband's a photojournalist. We travel all over the world with the Nazarene Fund and Mercury One, and we work with people that are persecuted minorities. So that's something that I was able to do because I had a platform from Housewives. Now, there has to be drama, sensationalism, acrimony, all that that's the formula for Housewives. But at the same time, I have a brand. I have things I want to do with my life. And who I am on the show is exactly who I am in real life. I've always been very tough as nails, very straightforward, tell it like it is. And everybody that sees me and meets me in person, they're like, oh, you're the same exact person. And I've always been that way. I've always worked. I've worked since I was 14 years old. This business is 10 years old, launching a her office. She says she's going to clean it out, but I'm not going to ask her anytime soon. She's too much fun. So it's just about really taking coffee. I put my skincare on, but I read the Bible every morning. So I have a devotional every morning. And then I should journal. I will say that I do journal. I have in the past, but right now I haven't. But I do have.
On you.
I know, but I have a prayer list. People actually write to me and say, would you pray for, because of my mother having cancer, and pray for this person, or can you talk, my son's having a problem. And I always do keep my prayer list, and I do write their names down, and I keep that up with that. So that's kind of the same, praying for other people and wishing good things on them, and that God will bless their lives. And I think if you have the desire for other people to be blessed, then you too will be blessed. And that's the lesson we all need to learn if we haven't learned it. I'm trying to still learn that every day of my life.
How do you maintain such faith, such unshakable faith?
Well, I was raised in my mother's an evangelist, by the way. So,
oh, really?
Yes, so I started when I was little on Christian TV with her, and so we've kind of my grandfather was very involved in the Pentecostal church. I mean, we're talking like, speaking in tongues and dancing in the aisles and the good stuff. That's how I was raised. And we went, no joke, Wednesday, twice on Sunday to church, and maybe another time during the week. She's like gone overboard. She's like, she says go out of the house without that full face on now.
So I think we might have to have your mom on the show.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
What's your mom's name?
Green,
D. They call her Mama D. Mama D. Yeah, she's a real big hit. She's like the most popular housewife of the whole franchise. And she's not even a housewife.
I love that.
So I grew up with being a cancer survivor and literally praying for thousands of women that would come to these different, sermons and things like that, and just pray for them. And I remember praying for people, women that had ovarian cancer, women that had breast cancer, women that had broken marriages. And it was I always felt that God was working through me. I felt like this kind of energy going through me, and I knew when somebody had received a blessing, and I was just a vehicle. Yeah. And I still have a strong faith, and I still believe in everything that I was raised, upon. I believe in the Bible. I'm a Christian, and I'm not embarrassed to say it.
With this product in the show, you're also a vehicle and a voice for a lot of women, and you've done such an incredibly honest and authentic job of sharing your personal story and coming out and encouraging women to come out regarding domestic violence. Would you mind sharing?
Yes,
about
I would love to
that?
share that. So before I was married to my wonderful husband, who's 22 years retired from the military, and he served our country, and he was deployed 5 times. He's amazing. I met this man, it was just serendipity. God just said, okay, here's your next husband, and he shined on me. And I didn't know there was a change in personality, a shift in personality. He became really pugilistic and combative with me, and I didn't know what was happening. I kept trying to ask. And then it got to be broken fingers, broken bones, and that was kind of a wake-up call for me. I think when you're successful in a lot of areas of your life as a woman, people don't understand how you could get in that relationship, but your self-esteem also, they ratchet down at your self-esteem. You're not worth, you're not worth enough, nobody wants you, you're not pretty enough, you're not this enough, you're not that enough, and you start believing it, even though over here, you kind of compartmentalize your life, and that's what I was doing. But when I finally left, and I went back after that, believe it or not, and I never really talked about it, but I went back for a little bit. And then I was speaking to women's groups and doing this. I said, and we were kind of hiding the down low, and I said, I can't be a voice for women and an example for women if I'm not being honest myself. And I finally cut it off because it was embarrassing to me that I would allow myself to stay in that relationship. It was hard to leave, and I finally cut it off and I left. And I can't tell you that cycle. I had a lot of counseling, but finally the realization came to me is I have to be the example for other women that need to leave these kind of situations. If I'm still doing this, then what does that say about me?
But do you feel like
about the situation?
God, the universe, whatever, only gives us those things if we're ready to learn that lesson to be able to help others with the same situation? I mean, in some ways, it's the weirdest thing. What we think is a blessing can be a curse, and what we think is, a tragedy can be the biggest blessing of our life, right?
I definitely agree with you. And last year, it was 2 years ago, I told my story I chaired the Salvation Army Luncheon in Dallas. There was 850 women there, all the big socialites, in Dallas. And I told my mother I was going to tell this story, and she was mortified. She was, didn't want me to do it at all. And I said, well, it's something I feel like I need to talk about, and it would be really good for the charity because they have a big domestic violence shelter in Dallas. And I told it, and the response was overwhelming. Most of the people were overwhelmingly, thank you for doing it. And you could see in their eyes, and they're talking women that are married to the most powerful men in Dallas. You could see in their eyes the understanding. And there, of course, were some women that were just, didn't want to hear about it. But it was my mother, I think, did a complete 180, and she said, I'm so glad that you did share the story and that you have this message to help women. And I was wrong. I shouldn't have held you back. So, there's a lot of, my mother and I have grown a lot. We've had a lot of arguments over the years. I'm an only child, and there's been a push-pull struggle between the two of us, but we finally came to a place where we're in a good mother-daughter relationship, I think because the business was a lot of it. And I love my mom, and we were talking about experiences, the different things that happen in relationships that make you who you are, and my mother's made me a stronger person. She's always been a very tough woman and very determined, and it was hard on me growing up. I had to, everything had to be perfect. I had to look perfect, had to make great grades, I had to be beautiful, and I always struggled with my weight because my mother was a model and she was beautiful. She did everything perfect, and it was a lot of pressure on me. Right. But now I look back and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're touching millions of lives in so many ways by sharing your incredible story. So tell people where they can find your products, where they...
So DeandraSimmons.com, we took all the businesses. One is Ultimate Living and one is Hard Night Good Morning, and now it's DeandraSimmons.com because people were searching for that, and we put it under one brand. And all the packaging here, some of it's changing a little bit, but it does have embedded links. So if you put your link reader over, it'll go to a video or go to the website and tell you a little bit more about the product. So
that's super cool.
Yeah, I love that new technology. It's awesome.
And it's cruelty-free.
It is. It's aloe vera-based skincare. So it's certified organic aloe. I started developing 20 years ago. I learned that aloe vera is a great deliverer of actives and botanicals to the skin because aloe vera penetrates and delivers all of those things that you want into your skin much better and more efficaciously than, say, water, because water evaporates, aloe vera penetrates. So I always make aloe vera skincare products. I put as many actives, the highest amount of actives that are in the clinical studies. And then we continue to, develop on what we've done in the past. My eye cream will always be my bestseller. I will never change it. People would flip and flop if I did that. There would be like a mutiny, if I did that. So I could never do that. And my facial cocktail was my original product, but the L22 is new. We did the nighttime moisturizer, changed it. People are loving it. I'm always trying to improve and make better. Right now we have just like some little stocking stuffer things and little masks, and I went to naturopathic doctor school for 2 years. So all of this was was learning from my mother's experience with her business, and then the skin being the largest body organ, how to take care of your skin, and transdermally when you're putting things on your body, what's that doing to your health? So that's where this came from.
You're quite a woman.
You are.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you, Erin. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jill. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
I grew up in a little teeny tiny little farm town called Mount Vernon, Washington, which was difficult because I'm like a gay cartoon version of a person. But I always loved showbiz and Hollywood. And so 30 seconds making it work now on TV for almost 20 years. Can you believe that? I've interviewed everybody from Meryl Streep to Michelle Obama and Donald Trump. It's a dream life, and I'm grateful every single day. Let's see if I can fool them for 20 more. This is my life.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I'm so excited to welcome life enthusiast Brianna Shrimp to the show. Thank you for being with us, Brianna.
Of course, thank you for having me.
What does it mean?
I'm always happy and I'm always grateful, and I think it's really like the focus of gratitude for everything in my life really allows me to enjoy and immerse myself in every single experience, whether it's a lesson or a blessing, and I think every lesson is a blessing, so.
Were you always like that? I mean, for some people they've had to work really hard to find that happiness, and for others they're just kind of born that way. I'm like, how did they get that way? Like they're just born like,
well,
attitude.
I am a Sagittarius, so I feel like we're eternal optimists. But
we have that in common.
Yeah.
I'm a Sagittarius. And,
right,
yes.
so it's just, but I always just kind of like look for the light in every situation. And when I do that, it allows me to focus on the things that will ultimately like bring more light. So I try to not dwell on the things that I cannot control. And it's been a practice, and I've had to learn it because when I was younger, I mean, you're learning and you're growing, and unless you're taught that as a child, it might not be something that is within your household or it's positive, like attracts like. So make sure that you're focusing on the things that bring you happiness.
That's such an important point, because I think so many times people misconstrue that whole positive thing. They say, oh, I'm going to pray that this doesn't happen to you. And I'm like, there's something wrong there. We need to realign. I pray that this will happen for you, or I hope, or I believe, rather than the negative.
Praying for something to happen to you. Well, like I mentioned, I think that welcoming any experience and allowing yourself to, I was actually, as I was driving here, I was like, I don't like to try things, I just like to do things. Because trying is just like, are you fully committed to that, or are you going in with fear? Because if you're leading with fear, you're just going to attract more fear. And so it's really focusing on doing the things that allow you to walk in love and leading with that.
What you do for a living?
I actually just began empowerment coaching, which has been really great. My career has been in marketing, and I was working with different media companies, and I had a really great career, but I realized that I wasn't fulfilled in that space. And I really wanted to, everything that I wanted to do needed to be rooted in spirituality. So I started to just develop practices every single day and know what to focus on and know what to do, because I feel so lost. And I know what it's like to be in that space.
Here's some water if you want.
Yeah. Thank you. I know what it's like to be in that space. Wonderful.
Unless it's the simple things.
Changes everything. So it's right here, and like the universe will always provide. So our needs are met now. It's really just understanding that you just have to take action on that. And I think that setting an intention for what you do and for your day really sets you up for that, to really take action that's in alignment with your highest good.
I just love that. One of my favorite quotes is just, enlightenment is a recognition. It's not something new that's added to you.
Yep.
It's just simply a recognition, and I think that's true of happiness and peace and love and abundance. What would you say, do you remember the first moment that you truly committed to being the life enthusiast that you are, and truly committed to happiness? Because I can remember, you know, like there was a day almost when I was like, you know what, whatever happens in my life, I'm going to commit to this one thing because it's sort of the point and purpose of life for me or whatnot. But do you remember a moment like that for you, or was it sort of just a gradual thing?
No, in 2013, I remember I was going through, and it's funny because I thought about this too today. I was like, a lot of people ask me, like, when did you start your spiritual journey? And I feel like life is a spiritual journey. It's not like a start, but it's a gentle remembering and a commitment. So that word commitment is so important. And it was in 2000 looking around, and I'm like, the only thing that's a constant is me. So I need to change me so that things in my life will change. And I think a lot of us focus on the external, like, oh, I need to remove this person from my life and I need to do this. And sometimes that is true. But ultimately, like, you will, once you align with who you are and return back to your truth, and I started doing that in 2013, but most importantly in 2016 was just like such a transformational year for me. I really saw things to just unfold, and my life just started turning into this like amazing adventure, which it always has been.
Well, tell people where they can find you, how they can work with you.
My Instagram. So you can, my Instagram. My Instagram is at Breanne Schram, BreAnnSCHRAM. And I also have a website. It's www.lhlosangeles.com. And you can book sessions with me. But I'm also developing a 7-day self-care for the selfless course, because I think it's so important. A lot of us give, but we forget about ourselves. And so I'll be launching that in January.
Self-care for the selfless. Love that.
Sounds very wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Okay. I said Dr. Bishop. I'm just having fun. This is so hard. What else do I need to do? Oh. That's my life. That's funny. No, can we start all over? That's too much talking. Do I just talk again?
Love. I'm so excited to welcome Megan Gallagher to this show. She is an expert in just that, and I am so grateful that you are pioneering this, especially for our teens.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so I'm an inspirational speaker for young adults and an author, and I speak at middle schools, high schools, colleges, and I'm just so passionate about it because I love just that age. For me, it brings back so many memories of just me having anxiety and feeling confused and the body image stuff, and it just has such a big eternally.
Oh my gosh, totally. That was my experience. I don't know about you two ladies, but as a teenager, I was so insanely anxious, stressed out, lost.
Yeah.
And it's, it is the formative years of our life. And so, if we can learn how to sort of live in a way that's happy and healthy at that point, it makes the rest of life a lot easier.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you get in? How do you, do the schools just go, you can have a come and speak time?
Well, it was a little bit different. I originally moved down to LA for college, and about a year into it, I just had this major awakening where my gut feelings were just like, this isn't for you, this doesn't feel right, and I just had this huge shift, and I tried to resist it, but I just was like, I'm meant for something bigger, so I just kind of trusted that and went along, and it was a mixture of going to schools and calling and emailing and just, sending like 500 emails a day and just pushing, and then little by little it like worked and it slowly got out.
Take us back there to this big awakening, because so many people have that moment and they don't listen to themselves.
Yes.
They'll think, oh my God, I'm feeling called to do so much more, but I should finish school and I should go this traditional route, and I'm just going to follow this path because it's safe, it's stable. And what you did was exactly the opposite. So what made you listen to that voice?
Well, it was really weeks and months of just feeling so unhappy. Just physically, I just felt like the universe was just tapping on my shoulder, like, Megan, drop out of college, this just doesn't feel right. But I kept on being like, what else am I supposed to do at 19, 20? What else? I have to be realistic. This will get me to the good job and the degree, and just this weird self-fulfillment of like, I didn't do great academically in high school, so I want to prove to myself I can do it. I can get the grades. And it was weeks of ignoring it, and then I actually got physically sick, and that was a 6-month-long health scare, in and out of hospitals, trying 20 different antibiotics, and it was crazy.
Isn't that wild?
I think it is interesting that I feel like the universe will reward us when we finally make the choice that's right for us.
Yes.
And so what was your kind of sign when I made the right choice here?
Probably after months of being misdiagnosed by Western medicine doctors and, you know, x-rays and MRIs and CAT scans, they're like, you're fine, you're fine. And I started psyching myself out and I'm like, am I really in pain? What's going on? My mom got me a session with the medical medium, Anthony Williams.
Oh, yes, it's great. Mm-hmm.
Who just hit the nail on the head, and that just, my jaw was on the floor. Wow. I was like, okay, so I opened my eyes to the spiritual world and I'm like, there is something bigger than me happening.
He Was in Heal documentary. Amazing.
Really awesome.
So great.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So what was that like, a session with him? Because he doesn't even take sessions anymore, I don't think.
I know. It was, my mom called into the radio station, Hay House Radio. And
Yeah, it's great to get that validation, isn't it?
Yes.
That you're sort of walking in the right path.
Yes, and
yeah.
he just was like, it was like 90 seconds long, but he just was so calming. And he's like, you're a little bit sick, but I think there's something bigger going on. You're just trying to resist the truth. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It's one of, I would say that for me at least, it's one of the signs of a really phenomenal, tapped in, tuned in, turned on spiritual teacher of any kind, when in their presence you feel like all is well.
Oh, before he even answered the phone, I just was like, I felt all of my worries disappear, and I'm just like, I knew intuitively, I was like, he is going to cure me.
Yeah.
I knew it.
It's pretty incredible.
And now you're helping cure, if you will, so many lives of our teens. What can we do as a society in America to continue to support mental health awareness in our teens, self-love, encouraging them to follow their passions, their intuition, their dreams?
Great question.
What can we do?
I think just having open conversations and just talking about it anywhere you can in your families, communities, schools, of inspiring other people to be healthy and just being your authentic self. I realize that because for some other people, it's uncomfortable. They're like, you didn't finish college, like you only did 1 year of community college. It's uncomfortable, it's different. But I'm like, I'm being my authentic self. Right. That's what I came on this planet to do.
I love that. Real quick question. How do you know when you're being your authentic self? Is there anything that you've found is sort of?
I think you feel it in your gut and you just, to me, it's kind of like when you're driving in your life and you're just in your lane and you feel it. You feel right because you are happy, and every day you wake up and you're just like, I get to do this. Like, that's how I feel when I speak. I just want to jump in and do 500 cartwheels. I'm like, this is amazing. So I think you feel it. I think just it's right, and you get the synchronicities and the signs from the universe, and it just happens.
I love that, and I just want to highlight that because it's really important, because a lot of days, like today, a lot of people talk about being real and being authentic, but I think your true authentic self is something that feels good. It's not something that's a conflict. It's not something that feels, you know, painful or that, you know, is full of suffering. It's not that at all.
Yes.
So I love that you highlight that, folks.
Thank you.
So how can people find you? How can they work with you?
They can find me on YouTube, on Instagram, Megan W. Gallagher. I have a website, and I speak all around LA.
All
right.
Thank you,
Check her out.
Thank you. Your time and your light. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more. Good morning, LALALAND.
Hi, my name is Jessie Golden, and I am the creator of The Golden Secrets, a completely, no, hang on a second, sorry. Can we start over? And this is my secret to golden, no, sorry. It's so hard, it's so hard. Oh my God, such the process. I got it. Yes, a golden secret. It's no longer a golden secret.
Welcome,
And
sweetheart.
she is
Thank you.
Hashtag breaking the stereotype.
Yes, absolutely. I'm all about body positivity because a lot of people still think modern day that anyone bigger than like a size 6 can't move. You know, they just can't dance. But if, yeah, so this is a clip I did with the phenomenal Jordan Matter, who is a dance photographer. And we just came up with this video idea of me almost doing kind of a sort of slam poem in a way. And it's just a short 2-minute video that has inspired a lot of people, and I'm really happy that it's had such a huge effect on social. Because I can, this sounds so cheesy, like literally every dancer you meet will say this, but I can express myself, like whatever I'm feeling. I don't even have to talk, and I think that's so amazing that I can just tell someone how I'm feeling by moving my body or doing some sort of like dance. Like, it's so cool to me. I don't know, I just love it.
I think it's so important.
Is that when you feel most like yourself, when you're dancing?
Oh, 100%,
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
How has your message been received by the dance world?
We're still working on it. Any type would be able to do. I mean,
like what?
I was on Ellen. I did Katy Perry's music video. I mean, I've done so many crazy things. I performed with Meghan Trainor, who is like my dream artist. I love her.
About that thing.
Yeah. That's why I fell in love with her, is that song, because I felt that song. I was like, oh, this is my girl. Like, I love her. We're on the same page. And also, a lot of people, this isn't dance related, but a lot of people don't think we're getting there, but still plus size modeling. They still think you have to be, you know, so tall and like skinny to model things and make, you know, you have to have a sex appeal and all this, and they don't think you can be sexy if you're not a size 2, which is wrong. But I'm actually signing with Wilhelmina pretty soon.
There you go.
That's amazing.
What?
Yeah, so that was like a huge accomplishment because my, you know, little self, I never thought, I mean, just my height alone, it's not even like my body that's the problem, my height, I'm only 5'2". But the fact that
light.
Yes,
Is contagious.
absolutely.
And on screen, off screen, in person. Have you ever had any self-doubts, or have you always just been a shining, confident star?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone, no matter what they say, has had at least one moment in time where they've, you know, had doubts about themselves. One time for me is my studio director in Colorado. I was with his studio for only a year, and at the end of the year, he asked to have a meeting with my mom, and I thought it was gonna be like just, you know, this is what you need to work on for next year, and this is where I see you going next season. But that was not the case, and he actually kicked me off the competition team because my body type, quote unquote, didn't fit his vision. For his team. So I guess he just wanted their costumes to be skimpy, you know, bra top and booty shorts, and he didn't think that, you know, I would look good with his team. Even though I did amazing that year, I, you know, won this award, whatever, that award. He kicked me off literally because of what I look like.
Wow.
So, and I was 10. I was 10 years old. So at that point, I got very down on myself because I looked up to him at that point, and so I just automatically assumed, like, is he right? Should I stop dancing? Should I find another career I should do? So that was one moment especially where I really thought twice about pursuing dancing and moving to LA. But then, you know, my mom being the momager she is, she's like, no, like, don't listen to him. Like, you're amazing, and, you know, just go out there and prove him wrong.
Oh, thank God for moms, huh?
I know.
They are just amazing that way.
Absolutely.
It's like you're teaching self-love by loving yourself. People are just seeing that, and they're going, it's just like a whole experience of unconditional, unbounded love for the self, and you represent that. And I just want to say thank you for all of us, because we need you. We need this reputation.
Yeah, I mean, when I was like younger than I was, there was no one that I could look up to that was doing what I'm doing. You know, I never saw, like, going to concerts, a bigger girl being a backup dancer. That doesn't exist. So that's what I want to show kids, especially like young girls, is that, you know, don't be so worried about what you look like. You know, just chase your goal and do what you're passionate about, because you're going to regret it one day if you don't do what you want to do because someone said, you know, you're not pretty enough or you're not skinny enough.
Oh, so well stated.
Yeah.
What's next for me? Well, I just shot a short film in New York with actually the guy who created the like monster in Shape of Water. Which was really cool. Yeah, so that was an amazing experience. And then I'm also shooting a feature film this coming spring that I'm really excited to film and talk about. And then I have a few other things coming up. I'm going to Michigan to do a partnership with Conquer with Milk there. And I'm going to do like inspirational speaking and stuff like that, which I'm very excited about because I love talking to people about body positivity and everything like that. And yeah, I have a few things up my sleeve that I can't talk about yet.
On fire right now. Wow.
Amazing.
If there was one thing you could attribute your success to, what would it be?
Ooh. Probably my mom, 100%, yeah. She's been supporting me from the beginning. She's never doubted me. She's never questioned my talent or what I want to do with my life. When I said I wanted to move to LA from Colorado, she was like, okay, let's do it. Like, I trust you. I know you're passionate about this, and I believe in you and what you can do in the world. So, definitely her, because without her, I would not be here 100%. I'd probably be back in Colorado.
You and I look very different, but we may have the same mom. I'm telling you. I'm not kidding. Incredible.
Tell anyone where they can find and follow your journey.
Yeah, you can find me on all social media at Amanda LaCount. And yeah, I post all about body positivity and some cool dance videos that you might like. So.
Big shout out to your mom also.
Yes, shout out to Mom. She's behind the camera.
Love you, Mom.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more of Good Morning La La Land.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Haley Knox is in the house, and she is hardwired. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And congratulations. So tell us about this new mixtape.
So I released this mixtape. It's been like 3 weeks now. And it's songs from like 3 years ago to songs I created at 3 in the morning on my computer on GarageBand that I wrote and produced. And it's really cool because I've been playing some of these songs on tour for like the last 3 years. So to be able to say, yeah, you can finally listen to them online, you know, it's really exciting.
Congratulations. It's very exciting. You've been described as being very soulful pop, but how would you describe your style and your voice?
I definitely think a lot of what I sing always ends up soulful, maybe because I have a lower range or just my voice is that way. But I love soul music, and I love kind of, you know, covering songs and making them more soulful even.
Would you consider yourself an old soul?
I guess so, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. I think so.
Do you remember your first musical experience as a child?
Well, my dad taught me guitar when I was 7 years old. So, I mean, and also 2nd grade, my piano, just my regular teacher in 2nd grade had a piano in his classroom, which is like cool. And he kind of encouraged me to do the talent show when I was nervous, and I still get so nervous to this day going on stage, but I think it's just a matter of channeling that nerve and just those nerves and going up there and just singing. But yeah, singing Blackbird by the Beatles when I was like a little tiny Haley, and my dad was playing guitar, yeah. And I could hardly pronounce Blackbird. I was like, Blackbird singing in the middle, yeah.
That's so awesome.
It's just fantastic.
You have a beautiful thing on your Instagram, the story, the picture of the old school tape, and it's coming out, and then it goes to a butterfly. And
oh,
did
thank you.
draw
Yeah,
that?
I doodled that. Yeah,
That's
thank
really,
you.
Really pretty.
Thank you very much.
What does that mean to you?
I love butterflies. I don't know, I've always just loved butterflies. I always say, like, one day if I ever get a tattoo, I just love butterflies. I think they're just, I don't know, they're just really beautiful. Yeah, and just hardwired itself, it's kind of just that concept of feeling like you're different, and I don't know. That song is such a weird one and very vulnerable. It's one of the most vulnerable songs I think I've ever written. And it's funny because I take trips out here to LA, and you know, it's like a week or two, and that one song, my friend and I were sitting on the floor of the hotel room and pulled out the guitar, and it's like the most unexpected times I think the most real songs come out. It's weird. We were just sitting on the floor eating chocolate chip cookies. I always say that because it's just so funny. But
you know, it's interesting you say that. I saw this interview once with Quentin Tarantino and Fiona Apple. And I don't know if you're old enough to know who Fiona Apple is. Okay. And they were basically talking and having this conversation. They both basically came to this realization that their most creative moments were inspired when they were simply just enjoying their lives and they said they both keep their antennas up and open, and that's their entire job as creative artists, is just to keep those antennas up so they can receive. And I love that. So when do you find that you're most receptive or your greatest creative insights come? Is it like in the shower?
Almost
Is it when you're
when I'm not thinking as much? When you go to a room and you're like, I'm trying to write this, I'm trying to write a specific thing. It almost like put you in a different space that you shouldn't be in. I don't know, it's like really when I'm just messing around, that's when my best stuff. When I'm jamming at home and you know, Dad's on guitar, or I'm just like, I keep a voice memo rolling, and you can go back and listen in on all those things you just did randomly, and then this could be a verse, this could be a chorus.
You just described my whole life. That's literally the way my life has worked. I'm like, I'm planning for something, I'm scripting it, I'm going so hard at it, and then out of nowhere, something else comes along. But especially when I'm like laying on the beach. Always helps.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what are you going to play for us today?
Hardwired, which is on. Hardwired differently. I smile so you can't see. You flood my mind when I dive in too deep. Sometimes I wish you'd see through me. I can see how you could take advantage of me. I don't speak my mind out loud, just keep it to me. It might not seem like I am listening, but I'm listening. And maybe I'll just laugh it off, just know I'm listening. Naive, say I'm naive. Maybe I'd talk if you just ask me. Speak, I struggle to speak, 'cause I'm always worried about what you're thinking. I'm hardwired differently. I laugh when I am weak. I see when you walk over me. Do you think that I can't feel a thing? Oh no, I wish I was hardwired to feel nothing. I can see how you could take advantage of me. I'm indecisive, non-emotional, but lonely. It might not seem like I care, but I do care. And here it is in case you're unaware. Naive, say I'm naive. Maybe I'd talk if you just ask me. Speak, I struggle to speak, 'cause I'm always worried about what you're thinking. I'm hardwired differently. Naive, say I'm naive. Maybe I'd talk if you just asked me. Speak, I struggle to speak, 'cause I'm always worried about what you're thinking. I'm hardwired differently.
Oh. Wow. What?
Straight to the soul.
It's like 100 degrees and I'm freezing. That's like past my shiver test. Are you kidding? Incredible.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Haley. Tell everyone where they can find and follow you.
Under Haley Knox Music, I guess, everywhere. Yeah. Thank you.
Are you kidding?
Thank you.
That's what's up.
Thank you so much.
America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. You can listen to all these interviews available as a podcast on iTunes.
That's right. We're waking up the world together. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out this amazing woman.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.